Okay, bad tutorial part 1. I'm going to build this up from the very, very basics. It's the way I learned the song. Bad is in 4/4 time. At about 100 beats per minute, I'm using 104. And it's a dotted eighth note, and we went through that in the last tutorial. So we've got my delay and other equipment here set to a dotted eighth, so it sounds like this. You set the guitar to the quack position, number 2 position, that is the bridge and the middle. So I'm going to turn the delay off. Bad is in 4/4 time, so let's first get on tempo. The 2 notes at the beginning, the open A, and then on the D string, you're going to go between the 12th and 11th fret. You're going to play these together, and you're going to muffle the strings with your right hand right here. Now, a lot of people play this way, and they don't use your pinky. I do it this way with my pinky, and I don't believe the Edge does it this way. The reason I do that is later the change is to here. So if you play with your pinky and get used to it here, it's easier to switch to here and keep your hand in position. Just a quick little hint, or if you want to do something that's a little different than the Edge, sometimes I think it can be helpful. So at the beginning of the song, he's playing these 2 notes. I do not have a delay on. Start on tempo and just practice with no delay. 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and play eighth notes. So this would be quarter notes. 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But play eighth notes now, because what the Edge does is play eighth notes in the entire song, or pretty much the entire part of this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So use a metronome, use your tempo light. It's hard to see my tempo light here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then the change up, and there's some emphasis you're going to play on certain notes. Right now, just practice this on tempo. And then the change up is this. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It's not 4 and 4. It's 1 and 2 and. So lift this finger. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The next step is to add emphasis to 2 particular notes. The first note, and then the 1 and 2 and. The 2 and. So on the 1 and the 2 and, strike the strings a little more forcefully, just a little bit. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then practice that, and then you're going to add that note, and you're going to do, I'm going to play it a little slower here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. You hit that note on the 3 and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, this is where it gets tricky, because recall from the other tutorial that when you add a dotted eighth note, the dotted eighth note does not land on the 1 or the and or the 2 or the and. It lands in between. So what's really fantastic about this song is what makes the wonderful bad sound is the two emphasis notes, 1 and 2 and 3. When you combine those two emphasis notes with a dotted eighth note delay, it fills in and sounds like something almost entirely differently. And what you get is this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Now let's add the high E. Mistake there, of course. That's what's tricky about the songs. If you get off just a little bit off tempo, and I'm going to leave my mistakes in the video because then you can hear it. If you're just a little bit off, it doesn't sound right at all. So let me try to get on tempo. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, for that second part, so you're going to go from here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? I'll turn the delay off. You're going to switch from here to here. It's really just these two notes, 5, 7, 9th fret. And I like to put this one down because you're going to lift and go 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So same thing up here. And the note you're going to hit on the same beat as in the first part of the riff is here, 10th fret B string. So you practice 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 it sounds so plain, but of course when you make those emphasis notes and you put that delay back in, 1 and 2 and 3. Now, when to throw in that little riff at the end, it's going to be just a little bit different. Because here you're going at the first, so we've got this part, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then you're going to do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Now it's going to be a little different. Instead of going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I might mess this up because it's a little different. It's going to be 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, because you want to end those two little different notes on the right beat. So it should come out to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now it doesn't sound great because the delay is not working for you there. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We put it all together without the delay. And I didn't actually put the emphasis notes in there very well, so let's make sure we did that right. 1 and 2. See, even if you just strike one string incorrectly, it just riffles through the whole song, so you have to just practice it over and over again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We'll stop here and I will break down the rest of the song. There's two main other parts and a transition part, all that are, believe it or not, much more simple to play than this. I hope that was helpful. Did make some mistakes in there, but hopefully that helped explain how bad it's supposed to be played.